Way ahead of Arthur's range here.
Well, Tony Filoni's going to lose some chips.
Let it go. Wow.
He folded ace-jack.
Oh, I'm not sure I endorse that fold. But
Holy smokes. He folded ace-jack, man. Tony Filoni's on fire. Tony Filoni, the legend of the table, going to raise it up to 125,000 here, which is a very big raise, by the way. I'm pretty sure the big blind is 40,000, so this is over 3x. Now, Jerry. Look at Jerry's eyes. He's looking and he's like, Tony Filoni, what's going on here? Jerry knows, like, something is happening. Something is happening. We can, of course, see Jerry and Tony Filoni have the same hand. But you could see it in Jerry's eyes. He's like, this is weird. You did something weird here, and I'm taking note.
Jerry flooding ace queen himself. Daniel folding a9 suited.
Brett is Cars, Poker Staples, am I right? You are. Yes.
Nice sub 20 bigs now. Facing an undergun open from Tony, who hasn't really made an aggressive action since he joined. A little scary.
Arthur in the small blind. He's got a pair. Sees a big old raise from Tony Filoni and a, I'm not so sure, from Jerry. He does end up giving it up. We can, of course, see he should have shoved, but he doesn't know that. Now, Michael in the big blind has a very similar stack. One less player in the hands as a pair.
Different prospect, but again, this race is so big.
Michael's got to call an extra 85,000 to get involved here. Or he can shove.
Scary.
But he calls. Tony Filoni looks stressed, man. King 10-5.
Well,
Michael's got the best hand, but he probably doesn't think he does.
Arthur seeing that 5 pop out.
Tony probably doesn't like that flop, but he may just bet anyways. I think Jerry's out of here. I think Michael's out of here in an instant. If Tony bets, Tony wins. I wouldn't advise betting.
That would almost certainly work.
Tony Filoni checks, okay.
Jerry, I'm sure.
What does Jerry do?
Back his gut shot on ace high.
Jerry doesn't have it. He's got effectively 2 short stacks in the hand with him. He's got position on both of them post-flop. He's got a gut shot to the nut and ace high.
Oh, he's the other way. I put out a small bet, 100k.
Jerry bets 100,000. Just a tiny little bet. Action back on Tony Filoni. Tony Filoni.
Especially for that bet size. 1/4 pot. He has one over. He has a gut shot to Broadway.
Starbucks triggered, man. I'd like some coffee. Tony Filoni thinks for a long time and calls. I do not think Tony Filoni is very strong. We can see his hand. But if you're at the table and you see someone raise pre-flop, check, think for a long time and call the 100k bet, my read on Tony Filoni is this is not a great hand. That would be my thought.
Tony has more 10s here.
Michael, I'm in a hand, please. That's what Tony's thinking. That's what he's thinking. Michael, please. Action on Jerry.
Jerry's flop bet of 100k.
Jerry's like, what's going on in this hand?
Gotta check back this card.
Mr. Filoni, you raised pre-flop to 3.5x or so. You check called on the flop for like 1/6 of pot. And now we're on a 10 turn. Jerry bets again. Again, they have the same hand, but Jerry is trying to figure out what's going on here. This is a very unusual hand. And Tony Filoni's in a terrible spot. Has 540,000 chips left. There's 860,000 in the middle. Has no pair. What do you do, man? This is a sucky spot.
It's hard now for Tony. 225. Only 540 behind.
Henchman 77 up to the 38-month. Reese, welcome back, Henchman. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the 3 years plus in the house, dude.
I don't think it's too many bluffs he has. He could have a hand like Queen Jack or Ace Queen.
Mr. Filoni. Tough situation here with the Ace Queen. I don't fault the folds. I think I would fold here. I wouldn't have check called on the flop, though, either. Well, I don't know if I would have. Mr. Filoni does give it up. Jerry wins the pot with the same hand as Mr. Filoni, but well played. There it is. Thank you, thank you. Jamie, I feel you. My girlfriend has a gallstone too. She wants to take it out. I've had 2 gallstone attacks in my life. One was about 4 years ago, and then there's one 2 days ago. It was extremely painful. Extremely painful. 8.5 out of 10 or so. But I'm hoping it doesn't happen again. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping. That's the really frustrating thing with it. Like, I don't have any really huge fear of it because it's just pain. You're not at risk of, like, dying, really. But it's just pain, which is okay. But you don't know when it comes back because it can just, you know, it may get clogged when you eat fatty foods, but you're just not going to eat zero fat for the rest of your life, you know? Like, you're going to have to eat, you know, fat and protein and carbs in a mix for some portion of life forever. So you just don't know when it's going to happen. One of the things as well with gallstones is that they develop a lot when you lose weight very quickly, which you guys will know I did. So I could have some of that, but then also it's definitely exacerbated when you're out of shape as well. So it's a tough one, man. It just is what it is, you know? Keep getting on with it. Chino with the King 8 of spades raising under the gun. Roberto Romanello with the Ace 10 of spades. Dominating the suit. We're going to go to a flop of 9-9 deuce, one spade. Roberto's got to feel okay about his hands. Pretty dry. Check. This is where I love checking back if I'm Roberto. I don't think there's any need to bet here. Yeah, just check, check. You're not getting a pair to folds. You're not even getting ace, jack, ace, queen, ace, king to folds. Just take the free card. Hopefully it's a spade, you know, or an ace or a 10, or it's a deuce, brick, or whatever. Turn comes a queen of diamonds, and now it gets a little bit more difficult. Chino bets 120K. Now what do? You give it up. That's what he says. It's very painful. It is, rascal. It is very painful. Man, I was crying, dude. There was a girl in the waiting room of the night clinic that I was going to see, right? And, I mean, it was this little girl, and I didn't want to scare her. But, like, I couldn't not cry. Like, it was too painful to hold my emotions in. So I had to walk and move, because if I sat, it just made it worse. So I had to move around, and, like, I was doing my best to, like, not cry loudly or, like, scream. Like, I was trying to... I didn't want to scare this girl into thinking that I was dying, because it's not a nice thing to see, like, a big 28-year-old man, like, unable to control his pain, you know? But then it thankfully stopped like about 6 or 7 minutes later, and it was fine. But it was kind of sucked, man.
Jerry under the gun, ace queen, 80,000 a little bit.
Oh, Big Alex, I can't imagine that, man. Jerry's gonna raise it up to 80,000. Chino pay off his debt. I really don't know, Scamps. I don't know. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I don't really know what the status is of that, so.
Yeah, but I might get 12 if I get one of your cards. I either get 21 or 12.
Jerry takes it. I really hope Tony Filoni gets a double up, man. I just like the Tony Filoni character. I do. I want him to be okay.
Is it the same today, like day one, 8 levels only? Like no dinner break? Do you know?
Not sure if we make it that far.
Roberto's going to raise it up to 90,000 here with Queen Jack.
Under the gun +1, Queen Jack. He's raising up. Michael.
Yeah, right.
Sub 20 bigs. Sixes in the cutoff.
And Michael probably has an all-in jam here.
Little
The
light
big blind
open.
being 30,000, you kind of got to ship it in here.
Decides to jam it in.
It's always like that. I think I'm folding. Yeah, I fold.
Not at the end of this.
Michael takes it. Is that Jason Statham? I don't know. I've heard that name, but I don't know who it is by
Couple 100K
face.
with his
Let's
jam.
see. Let's see who you're referencing here at the table. Jason Statham. You think Roberto Romanello is Jason Statham? I can sort of see it, man. I can sort of see it. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. True. Yep. That's kind of it, dude. Kind of it. You're not wrong. Drinking lots of acidic things like apple juice every day can dissolve stones. Oh, okay. From Dazine. I have to book a time with the doctor and just go talk to them about it, see if I need to get an ultrasound and see what I got in there or whatever. I don't know. Hey, I'm from Brazil, and I learned a lot with you about poker. Thanks. From Ciao Johnny. Ciao Johnny, cheers. Vamos, my friend, and thank you. Arthur has been very, very tight because he hasn't had any hands. Going to raise it up with the kings. No, actually, no, Michael, and he could put it in here. The big blind is 40K. He's got 22.5 blinds. He could definitely shove in this spot. But he folds. He gets away. Good folds.
Playable hand. Pocket kings +1 opening up to 85.
Get your camera to the right, idiot. There's only 2 hands, man. Relax, okay? Relax, Hinkaz. Don't call me an idiot again, man. Don't you dare call me an idiot again, or else my ego is going to get hurt. I'm going to be personally offended and on the defensive for the next hour, man. All right, Hinkaz, please. Stop this, man. Be kind. So you're right though. I should keep my camera on the right side. The reason I don't is because I don't have the overlay built. You see the the BitLord and the top dono and the subs today thing? I don't have that over here. I don't have it built yet, man. Which is why I just switch back and forth when it's a 3-handed pot. I try and remember. Will you give us a let's go Dottie if Tony Filoni doubles up? It's guaranteed, man. If Tony Filoni gets the double up, we've got a let's go Dottie coming in. Speaking of the man, he has ace-8 in the hijack. He's going to give it up. Action on Chino Reem with ace-jack in the cutoff. Daniel Divorce, the small blind. Ace-7 suited, probably a hand he's going to play.
Chino in the cutoff. Ace-jack. Daniel in the small. Ace-7 of clubs.
We can see not in a great situation against Chino's ace-jack. But, of course, Daniel doesn't know that. Roberto will fold the 3-deuce. It's Dottie, Mr. Knox. D-O-T-T-I-E, yeah. Dottie Pepper is a golf announcer. Exactly, there's the story in the chat. Ace-queen-deuce on the flop. Both players have flopped an ace, and this is not good news for Daniel Divorce. Check. Chino is going to bet here.
Chino c-betting
130,000.
Well, Daniel Pena from the small blind is going to hit. Fair percentage of the time.
Let's go Daddy would be weird. It would.
A little bit more than
Dottie makes more sense, but I can understand he may think it's Daddy. It's not.
Of course. No way Daniel's doing anything but calling. Eventually.
Been working today. No people almost, but still 1K today. Mr. Knox, killing it, bro. It's going really well. Congrats on that, dude. 3 on the turn. This is a bad card for Daniel. Nothing that should worry Daniel with the ace-7 of clubs, so Chino goes for another bet. 300,000 into 510. 60% of the pot. Action back on Daniel now. Who's got to feel good. I mean, he's against an aggressive player. He's got the top pair. He doesn't have a lot of ways to improve on the river, but
nothing more than a call from Daniel.
300,000 to win 810,000 that's in the pot. You've got a pretty good price.
Seven of clubs
You know, you don't have to be right every time here to make this a profitable move. It's a 9 of diamonds on the end. We can see Chino Reem has got the best of it here. And this pot has ballooned all the way up to 1.1 million at this point. Does Chino go for another bet?
Brick on the end. Daniel checks once again. Now Chino, being Chino, is in a different spot to most people here.
Looks like he's considering whether to bet or not.
He is often so aggressive. Gonna bet one more time.
420,000. What a memer. That's a meme. Has to be.
Now I'm starting to feel a little sick about this one.
Has to be a meme. Quick call.
As it's Chino,
Ace Jack.
you just gotta pay him off.
That is plus $1 million for Chino Reem. 3.87 million now. Daniel Dvorak on 1.9.
Chino
Very big pot. Chino Reem with the chip lead on the table. Pretty sick. Nice thin value. It was indeed. Also playing later. I'm going to play a little bit tonight. Yep. I'm going to play a little bit. We're going to do probably half of this day 2 coverage before we play. And we're about 2 hours in now. I think we have Michael Gagliano coming into the table, I believe. Pretty sure we had commentary with him on day 1A of the tournament, I think.
I agree 100%, because every fucking time I'm out of the hand, I'm on my phone every time I'm off the hand. Right.
Aussie Millions, they had the stream.
Yeah, somebody
quite
said
good.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they let you, yeah.
Seems like I agree. Seems like it'd be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it also helps players like me not miss a hand.
Thin value lull. Clear value bet. Draws missed. No ace queen plus in Dvorak's range. Yeah. Doesn't have ace queen, ace king. But he could have other things too, though. He can have other 2-pair combos and stuff like that. Twice.
Couldn't agree more, Gags. Could
I
not
don't think
agree
it's a
more.
clear value bet. I don't think there's that very many combos of things that you're getting called by that you beat. Considering you called him a small blind, I mean, he's going to have some suited aces, right? But, like, that's really what you're hoping to get hero called by is the suited aces that aren't beating ace jack. And, of course, he doesn't have the ace queen, ace king, but it's not that many compared to the 2-pair combos and stuff he could have, too. So, I think it's thin. But maybe your thin range is, like, 1 combo of hands because you're a GTO wizard or something. I don't know, man. But I think to the average person watching the stream, that's going to be thin-ish, you know? It's not going to be clear. It's not going to be like, oh, this is the easy value bet of all time. Just like pile money in the pot, you know?
Jack, 3-1.
Have you been watching the Galfon challenge at all? I've been keeping up with the headlines on it, man. I haven't watched too much of the actual action. But the headlines have been interesting. Is he doing okay today?
Half pot as well. Quite a big sizing on such a broken board.
I hope he is, man. I'm a big Phil Galfon fan. So I hope he's doing okay. Just tune in to see. All right, looks like stuck a bit on the day. 68K for him. Hopefully he pulls it back. There it is, Chino Reem. 100 big blinds, 4 million chips here. That's a lot of chips on day 2. And a guy that uses those chips too. Here we go. Michael Gagliano. Gags, as he goes by on the internet. He used to stream on Twitch a little bit. I don't know if he still does. I think he actually used to stream a little bit for Party Poker New Jersey as well, if I remember correctly. Galfon challenges months and months and months. He's down at the moment, just shy of 20 buy-ins. Yeah, so there's a guy named Phil Galfon that he has a poker site, and he challenged a bunch of people to heads-up matches. And there's like big side bets, like 200,000 side bets and 100,000 side bets and stuff. So he's playing a player right now named Veni Vidi for 25,000 hands of heads up. They've played about 4,000 hands, and he's stuck about 400,000 euros right now. But yeah, it's just going to be millions and millions swung in this challenge. So pretty interesting anyways. I'm hoping for the best for him. I mean, it's a way of like trying to promote his site and grow his site and stuff. And I obviously work with Party Poker, so like, you know, like we're competitors in a way, but at the same time, on a personal level, I really like the guy. So I hope for his success. I hope both sides are successful, you know. Good old flop, Jack 8 deuce here. Michael.
suppose the flop
has
now.
flopped a pair of jacks, and Daniel Dvorak has
Overcard
a
and
gut shot. What's an overall strategy for playing short stack live, like 50 big blinds from Flo SFM?
Close one here.
Are you talking cash games or tournaments, Flo?
Big blind pill, but he is gonna bet. It's 50k, and Michael could definitely consider a check raise here. He's 780.
Daniel is going to bet 50,000 here. Action back on Michael. I don't think 50 big blinds is short. Yeah, it depends what you're talking. In a cash game, that's a shorter stack. But in a tournament, that's not a short stack.
180.
Michael calls.
Is gonna check raise.
No, he raises to 180,000. I thought it was a call because it's 2 chips. But no, those are 100k chips. So raises up to 180,000. Now action back on Daniel Dvorak, who hates to see this with his hand, you know? This is the disaster with Queen 10. If you know you're going to get check raise, you just check back. Because now what do? You have a gut shot, you have an overcard. It's reasonable against an aggressive opponent, but you don't want to call, see a turn, and then they shoves. You don't want to jam because your hand's not quite good enough. It's just a fold for the Queen 10. And a very good folds to get out of the way. Just a tough spot. In cash games. All right, so 50 big blinds in a cash game. I mean, really the mistake you don't want to make is if you have 50 big blinds in a cash game, and let's say it's like normal cash games, you're playing maybe 1-2, right? And people are raising it up to, I don't know, $10, $12, $15, something like that, right? You don't want to, you don't want to call with your speculative hands like 10-9 suited and stuff because you don't have enough chips. So with a short stack, you need to play fairly tight aggressive. You need to play your ace kings, your ace queen, your ace jacks, your king queens, your king jack suiteds, you know, your ace tens, you know, your small pairs when you can get it in cheap, and your big pairs aggressively. But you don't want to get involved with a lot of those middling hands. Just fold those because you need more chips to make those profitable. That's when you're like 100 big blinds, when you're 200 big blinds deep against other players, you start playing those. With 50 big blinds, get rid of those speculative hands and just play straightforward like good hands, and you'll crush. Daniel Dvorak is going to raise it up to 80,000. Michael Gagliano in the hijack is going to call with the ace queen offsuit. I'm a coffee guy, Mr. Knox. Yeah, I'm a coffee guy for now, anyways. Pulls around to Tony in the big blinds. Tony Filoni with not a great hand.
In the big line, that's just a small stack. Such a poor hand to take three-way. Should see him eventually fold this one.
Let's go. All right. So we're going to go to a flop here. We can see Gags has a big advantage in the spot. Gagliano. Daniel Dvorak with the queen jack, but it's a jack high flop. Big flop for Daniel Dvorak. Takes the lead here. Also has a gut shot to go along with his hand. Michael Gagliano has missed the flop.
In position, so I want to check this a lot. Does so here. Gags,
Check.
Gut shot 2 overcards. I think he'll be happy to check this one back and then maybe takes a betting on a later street.
Keeping the pot small for Daniel Dvorak. Now this is good news for Gagliano, unless he decides to bluff here. We'll see.
He's going to have it all go now.
Bet of 125k. Dvorak considering, and he's gonna call. Okay, we go to a turn. 500,000 in the middle. Ace on the turn.
Bingo for Gags on
Huge turn from Michael Gagliano. Daniel Dvorak is now behind here. Checks to start.
This is an interesting spot.
Gagliano's gonna love this.
Bad for him. In this instance, it's good. Daniel check calling the flop. Does have a lot of hands that could check call again that are weaker.
And here comes the bet, 300K.
300K. Now, let's see what Daniel
810,000 in the middle now. Daniel DeVoris has got to decide.
This line does not look like one pair.
Do I play or not?
It's hard to think of many one pair aces Gaz can have. So you reckon stronger hands now at this point. Nines and jacks, are they likely just a flat pre, or are they more likely to 3-bet? Jacks certainly 3-bet. Well sniffed out.
Wow, what a fold, man. Pretty wild fold. Check call and then fold on the turn with Queen Jack. You have the gut shot as well.
Obviously, I didn't know. And, yeah, long story short, they banned me and I got charged.
What happened to the guy?
Huh?
The dealer.
He got arrested, too. I probably shouldn't be saying all this shit.
Yeah, I was just saying.
But I really just don't care, bro. Anyone knows me knows I just don't give an F. So there you guys go. That's what happened to me.
I think this is why they picked this table.
I'm a little savvy, missed the start of that story.
Because that road's really dead.
Yeah, right. No,
I also did.
It was messed up, bro. Fucking Hard Rock, you fuckers.
The tribe has spoken.
The tribe has spoken.
All right. Well, action is going to continue here. I'm not sure what's up with the Chino story. I'm going to leave you guys for a minute or two because I'm going to grab a bit of food.
Ban me.
Yeah, it seems like a good time to leave.
Daniel DeVore is going to raise it up. I'll be back in a few minutes, okay?
No point for me to be here anymore.
Stay with me.
So I just went to LA. I'm from LA anyways, and plus they got better Korean food. You know, I'm Korean, so.
There's quite a few like Korean restaurants, but they're all like scattered. all
Right,
over.
and they're not so good. I've been to
Yeah, for sure.
basically all of them.
Daniel raising up at 9s. Last one, Tony with just 10 bigs in the small with 6s. This is the point he decides to draw a line on the
There's
sand.
Report hundreds in LA. It's
Huh?
a New York thing.
Yeah, but that's what they got here. They don't have like Camel Crush or. I smoke Camel Crush. Right?
Yeah, someone with a little bead in there where you like.
Yeah, right. What's the bet?
Right, he's decided
Thank
just
you.
to flat. And this is kind of coming out with the third worst of the options.
I do not. Yeah, man. That's my worst habit I've ever had in my entire life. Fuck the pits, any kind of drug, cigarettes. The worst habit I've ever had in my life. The hardest one to kick too.
And he gets 25 back.
I get 5 back, I believe.
I'm just going to find this very hard to navigate post flop. And if you're going to play this hand,
Yeah, I used to.
you just got to jam it in and
Gotta go.
take your chances against Daniel.
7, 8 years.
Our sub hands is opening early, he's going to fold to the jam, especially
Toss that 5 back. Yeah.
Tony's perceived image.
Hey, I just saw it. What happened?
You were short.
It's
I was short.
Yeah, it's 240 now. It's right.
Why's it gotta be me?
It's a good try.
First of all, I didn't try
Just because he got close low doesn't mean he's fucking stealing.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Those two things are.
Exactly.
Well, if you're going to pill 6s, make sure you flop one. 6, 7,
We
ace.
caught you this time. Yeah.
Good. Am I gonna miss my small blind or no?
He's right.
Daniel betting very small. Just a little stab with his 9s. Doesn't expect Tony to rebluff him down the streets, so he just wants to protect his equity a little bit and get some value from perhaps some worse hands that are in there.
Okay, we're on break.
Tony does call.
Mute your mic, bro.
Oh yeah.
Turn your mic off. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. Yeah, it's okay.
Can you turn it off for me, bro? Thank you.
You on pick. This is switch.
We're coming back here, I assume.
Daniel picks up a gut shot draw on the turn. Just pop behind. I think Daniel puts Tony on too many ace X's. Most of those hands that have an ace in wouldn't have appealed pre. They'd probably just jam. And well, this card is a very bad one for Daniel. It's hard to see him not paying this off while Tony checks. Makes it a lot easier. Daniel can just check this one back. Can't expect Tony to have too many weaker hands that can actually face a bet and call. He's peeled off 10 bigs from the small blind. Well, he is going for it. I'm surprised to see him.
Thank you, dealer. Oh, I needed that one. Ooh.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
That was a rather peculiar hand, all things considered, but it does mean a full double up for Tony on the last hand before the break, and that also means this is the last hand of registration. Players have just through to the break to register. When we come back, we'll know how much the overlay is, as Chino Ream leads the way on our feature table, which we will be keeping after the break. Gags and Jerry Wong. Yeah, the 2 over 2 starting stacks. It is Arthur Conan, the shortest, and Tony Falone just doubled up to a starting stack. When we come back, 25k, 50k, and you see even down to Daniel there in 4th place on this table, just 23 bigs. 15-minute break, and more coverage of this, the Party Poker Caribbean Poker Party main event. Welcome back to the Bahama Resort here in the Bahamas. This is, of course, your Caribbean Poker Party main event, day 2. We're just coming back from our first break of the day. Registration is now closed. And we retain our feature table blinds going up to 25k, 50k, and it's Chino Ream leading the way with 4 million in chips on this feature table. It's always fun when Chino's got the gun.
One card. Just the same.
A quick walk through the tournament floor during the break. And the overlay looks to be about 50 players, so $500,000 added to the prize
That
pool.
would be really fun.
It's a lot of fun. Have you ever played with like a group?
Pretty good result
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Party in the end. It was looking like a lot more. The value hunters registering today.
We played it for like money.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but like we would like have a pot and start throwing in hundreds. Everyone was throwing hundreds, and then the loser would have to match the pot and shit.
Yep.
It would get big.
Hola. Thanks for hanging with me, chat.
It was like the board was like.
Thanks for waiting. I had a couple oranges. That's right. Keep going.
And then the river was like a king. Or no,
Tony
it
got a
was
double
like
up. Tony Falone? Yes, bro. Let's go, Daddy. Come on.
5 for 6 high. And
Ah, yes. Tony Falone, you legend, bro.
top, and they just keep throwing money.
Please, man.
Hysterical laughing.
Wow.
He didn't realize.
I mean, you got.
Arthur's all in with ace queen.
Yeah,
Who did
playing
Tony
back
Falone
half.
double up through?
No, I got the board wrong. 'Cause somehow the other guy had him like.
Barely knew.
It was
That's-
like
that
5,
water
5,
is
4,
gone.
4, 2, and he just
After jamming 12 bigs from the hijack, Tony with ace jack on the button.
From Daniel Devoris? Ah.
Way ahead of Arthur's range here.
Well,
Ace
Tony
jack,
Falone is going to
but
lose some
he's
chips.
let it go.
He
Wow.
folded ace jack.
Well, I'm not sure I endorse that fold, but in this
Holy
instance,
smokes.
it's going to work out.
He folded ace jack, man. Tony Falone's on fire. Nice spot, Arthur. Wow. That's pretty sick, man. Is Tony Falone a legend? He might be. He might be a legend, man. Have any of you considered that as an option? Dun, 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 dun. Da, da, da. Tony might be a god or a wizard. He's one or the other, and that's for sure, man. It's definitely one or the other. It can't not be. Godman Tony with the ace king. Played 3 tourneys now too. Good luck, Mr. Knox. Good luck, my friend.
I'll ace check the last hand. I'll be folding ace king there.
Tony's on a heater, dude. Back on $1 million. Yeah, I don't know what's with the napkin either, though, Dark.
Ace king.
I don't know, man.
130K.
It's not usual.
Daniel can't appeal to that sizing.
Button is right.
Tony takes it. Raise and take it. Easy game, man. I'm going to try and Sadie into a $1.10 bounty builder series. Good luck, man. But join us on Party Poker, but good luck anyways. That's the Stars series, man. We got the KO series coming up this Sunday, man. I was actually just going to take a look through the schedule because I need to make sure I know what's actually happening on Sunday. What events we're actually playing. So let me just turn on KO series, all buy-ins, and then see what we got. So event 1, a 215 and a 22. Event 2 is a 1K, 109, 11. Event 3, 2100, 320, 55, 5. Event 4 is going to be in Omaha, I think. Yep, pot limit Omaha, event 4, 320, 55. Event 5, a 1K. And event 6 is a 530, 55, 5. So 6 events on Sunday. It's going to be pretty hype, man. KO series. We'll be playing a bunch of it as well. Should be fun. Daniel DeVoris is going to call in the small blind with the 8 of clubs mystery. Michael Gagliano is going to raise it up in the big blind to 175,000.
20 bigs. Making it 3.5.
Well, there's some stuff going on, Mr. Knox. There's a $2 KO series on Sunday. Event number 1. And a bunch of $5. But I think $2 is the smallest one on Sunday.
That's all he has. Any kicker he has with it is going to be coordinated with this board.
Yeah, there should be more like $2 and $1 type things, but
not a board that Gas can really fire.
Every streamer just hates PokerStars now. I don't think that's the case, dude. I certainly don't hate PokerStars. You know, I'm working with Party Poker, so I'm doing everything I can to help grow Party Poker. But like, I don't hate PokerStars. It's just, I think Party Poker is doing the right things to try and grow for the right reasons, and it'll help the game of poker as a whole. I don't think anyone on our team hates PokerStars. Just like, you know, we're just trying to provide an alternative and in some ways be better as well. Daniel's going to check here on the turn. Gagliano with the 4 deuce has to decide, do I continue this story or not?
Forward.
No, the thing with like the Stars party though, which is like, listen, I was on Team PokerStars for 4 years, as a lot of you guys know, right? So I was on that team and I was working with that company to do the same thing over there that I'm doing here, right? And I decided to go in a different direction, make a bigger impact, had a better opportunity personally as well. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to do that now. But it's hard to be number 2. It's really easy to be the biggest site because you just keep doing your thing, you know, and people are interested in playing. To be number 2, there's a lot of people that watch this channel that watch me play, but then they're just going to hop in the Stars stuff because it's bigger, you know. So it's difficult to convince people to try to come join us on Party and just try it out because they've never played there, you know. They don't know how it works. They're not familiar with the tournaments or whatever. And that's the uphill battle of being the second biggest site, you know. It's just like trying to convince people like, hey, come try it out. Give it a shot. But it works sometimes, you know. Was it Party Poker that the owner said he was going to add facial recognition that would make me not want to play? From Forgive Hexar. There was a Twitter poll about that from Rob Young yesterday, who collaborates and makes a lot of decisions with Party Poker about facial recognition, just as a way to log in, basically.
8-9 obviously straight, 7-8 a house. 8-10
But Yeah, I understand. Like any change, some people are going to be happy with. I personally would be definitely for facial recognition because I think it would help to protect players again. Like ensure that it was actual human beings playing. Make sure you know who is playing. It'd actually be one player per account and stuff. But I understand some people, for privacy concerns or what have you, would not be interested in having that sort of metric to log in, and that would be that. So I think it's just an idea at this point, but who knows down the line,
Well, nice play by Gags. Gets that one through.
It's me. It's always me.
Michael with a pretty gangster 4-deuce win there. Daniel's screen name is Oxada. Yes, someone said that in the chat earlier, so I was informed of that as well. But yeah, Oxada. Here is the leaderboard. What a sick leaderboard, by the way. Chino Reem in the lead, 3.9 million. Michael Gagliano on 2.9. Jerry Wong on 1.9. Tony Filoni, our legend, on 1.1. Michael Soiza on 1 million. Roberto Romanello on 1 million. Daniel Dvoras on 870,000. And Arthur Conan on 720K, who has been the tightest at this table, Arthur Conan. But just hasn't picked up very many hands. It's a nice mix, dude. It's a nice table here for day 2. Blinds are up to 25K, 50K now. Would definitely be a bad decision to make it face recognition only, in my opinion, from Big Alex. Why do you think so, Alex? I'm curious. The few of you that have said you really wouldn't like the facial recognition, what's the drawback for you? Like on a login or something, right? To have a webcam that has a facial recognition, just like Face ID does, on my phone, to unlock my phone. What would be the drawback for you to have that as a security feature? I'm just curious because to me, I'm for it, but I'm very technology forward as well, so I understand I'm not everyone, right?
Soiza, Jack 10 suited, certainly where they've raised all the way around.
Jack 10 suited for the Michael. This is a good hand. Jack 10 of spades is a good one, man. Roberto calls for 100K.
6, 7 of hearts. Similar stacks.
Flop is ace, jack, 6.
Hands, both players flopping 1 pair.
2 diamonds. You could be right, Mr. Knox. You could be right, man. I don't want to have to buy a webcam for one. I don't want a company to watch me through my computer after buying one either.
Shallow stacked, opening
Right.
early. Flopping a second pair with a not very good kicker. On an ace high board.
I hear you.
Let's see if board he has an advantage.
Buying one, so I'm not so worried about a company watching me through it, because I assume it would be a login feature
Too many hands calling you.
as opposed to the other way,
Will, 6, 7 of hearts, of course.
where it's like they can turn it on at any time. I'm assuming it would be like you verify by face when you log in, but it could be the other way. But I definitely agree with the second part of your statement, which is like it's adding a pretty big barrier of entry into playing online poker. To you're also required to have a webcam so that we can do facial recognition. Like that, I mean, it's already hard enough to get money onto the site and go through the checks to ensure that you are who you say you are to start playing. Like it's not like a game where you just click buy, download, play. There's a lot of steps to play online poker, which holds it back in a lot of regards. So I hear you on that one, dude.
It's hard to see Michael betting this again.
If I was playing higher stakes, then maybe. Yeah.
Deuce on the end. Should go check once again.
Deuce of spades in the end.
Showdown.
And Michael's going to win with the jack. Michael's going to scoop the pot with the jack. Roberto Romanello, unfortunately, on about 780,000 here. He's going to need some help to get back in here. How many left, guys? So this is day 2. I think registration at this point in the tournament was just about to close. So we don't know exactly how much are left, but we should have payouts and that information pretty soon, I think. Maybe for certain tournaments it could be a requirement. See, I think that's a cool idea as well for Give Hexer. Like for high rollers, I really like the idea of real names as well for high rollers, because if you're playing 10Ks and 25Ks, you want to know who you're playing against is actually who they are. So I kind of like that. But Autobot17 says, I like what party you're doing, but the software is tilting me big time. The way you get your card is super weird. The run out when you're all in is like lightning fast. Way too fast.
50, right?
We've definitely passed along that feedback, dude. It's way, way, way too fast. I agree, man. It's just like, there's no sweat. The sweat is the fun part. Like, sweat it out. I agree with you, man. But, you know, we're trying to change. We're trying to be better, man.
Big stack.
Chino's going to raise it up with the Ace King to 125,000. Daniel Dvoris now.
Down.
125K, 50K. So with this pair, I think this is an all-in.
Chino raising. Chino raises
But he
straight
folds!
right. Daniel.
I think I would have shoved there in the cutoff. 17 big blinds against the raise from Cheetah Reem. He gives it up. Must assume that he has a big edge in the tournament, so he doesn't want to take a small edge spot. And I do think it's 25K, 50K. I'm pretty sure. Those are the blinds. Action on Arthur now in the big blind, who's going to call and come along.
On the big blind. Jack 7 off.
Arthur has just 11 big blinds left, going to a flop.
Sizing
Queen 8 deuce. Both players have missed.
wide, perhaps of a short.
Cheetah Reem still has the lead.
One of the worst hands to appeal with.
Just check. 10 of clubs.
Queen 8 deuce. Both players pick up gut shot draw on the turn. This ball that it's hard to imagine Chino having nothing on. 10 turn.
Bit of 110,000 from Arthur.
Some pressure on. 110.
Chino calls
Jack.
quickly. Not concerned. Just with the ace high and the gut shot here. And it's a deuce of clubs in the end. The question is, can Arthur get it through here? If he shoves, it'll probably work. But can he pull the trigger and go for the shove on the deuce of clubs?
5.45 in the pot. Hard to imagine Chino checking back too many queens on this board. Real concern, it's a 10. And a little bit more real, given that Arthur has a jack. He blocks the straight draws he wants Chino to have. As like ace jack, king jack. I may have checked back flop, called turn.
Yeah. Check. You win. Probably.
Check.
Oh, okay, good.
Chino wins with the ace high.
And well, Arthur Space says it all.
No slow roll.
Yeah,
don't think you
not
can
happy. Arthur is not happy, man. Not happy about that. Chino takes it down.
We all know that. Everyone knows what time it is. Check, you win. Bet. Fuck, I might have to look you up.
All right, let's catch back up with the chat a little bit
You
here.
got it.
If you lost 9 buy-ins after winning 13, is that variance or him just playing bad after playing good? There's not very many buy-ins for Give Hexar. You're going to swing a lot more than that. So a 9 buy-in down and a 13 buy-in up, you can expect more for sure. Especially if you're talking tournaments, like tournaments, that'll happen big time. If you're talking cash games and live cash games, that's a little bit more significant, but you can just get unlucky for that long, you know? Like, it's not that difficult. You lose kings to aces, there's a buy-in. You lose an all-in flip, with an open-ended straight draw and flush draw against a set, or
Everything
two
going
pair or
right for
whatever.
Chino so far
There's
today.
another one. You get Delta Cooler where it's set over set, and you just lost another 1.5. You win a little back, and then you slide a little bit, and you have to fold on the river in a spot. Like, it happens, dude. So don't read too much into it. Do you believe at low stakes you're playing against many robots? I don't think so. No. I think there's definitely people out there that are trying, and some are succeeding at deploying them. So I don't think every player that I play against is a human. I think some people are getting by the systems. But
7 blues back.
I don't think that many.
Daniel. Hijack king 5.
There's really good protections.
Through Michael's
I mean, not good enough to just be like, oh, we're solved forever. But there's really quite good protections at trying to figure out bots. What's up? Golf, ski, poker. I like the vibes. Golf, ski, poker. That's a good combo, man. That may be my life in 15 years. Right now, it's just poker, streaming, poker, streaming, poker, streaming.
Michael the open ender.
That'd be pretty good, man. How much money does Chino Reem still owe to the players in the poker community? So, yeah, I don't know. Chino Reem is maybe most famous in poker based on scandal 6-7 years ago from owing a lot of players money. I don't really know how that resolved. I don't know if everyone got paid back. I don't know what his standing is now.
He's going to check.
So I'm not really sure where to stand on it. You know, he had a very negative name at the time. But for now, I kind of just say I'm not sure. So I'm just going to proceed as is and make no judgments because I just don't know.
Yeah, there's just so many hands he has to give up with. Facing a bet on the turn.
4 table and cash games. 9 buy-ins down, 4 table and cash games. Not a big swing at all, man. You're going to have more.
Instead now he's in a situation of
You're going to have more for sure. So
larger bet
hang in
on the
there.
turn.
Keep doing your
7
thing.
high.
It is my life pretty much. I'd love to ski again. I haven't skied in like maybe 7 years or something like that. But I skied around 20 days a season growing up.
Very hard to win this pot.
Sometimes more. 20, 25 days a season. And then golf.
Still jam.
Absurd amounts.
Maybe his plan was check raising turn.
Like,
Bet size. It's difficult.
yeah, there's one point at the end of May. I had over 200 9-hole rounds at the end of May. Played a lot of golf.
That's what he's going to do.
A lot of
Nicely
golf.
executed from Michael.
Michael takes it down. It's been a really interesting table, though. Michael Soiza. You guys have told me in the chat. I was playing a bunch of the Triton events, the high rollers and stuff. 20 isn't bad. I got 80 last winter in Colorado. That is sick, man. That is sick. Colorado's got to be a dream for if those are your hobbies. Skiing, golf, and poker. I mean, that's the dream right there, man. Hello, Go Leafs Go, 2019. Or 1919. I got it confused. Here we go. Cheeto Ream, Ace King under the gun. Big hand. Raises it up.
Chino under the gun, ace king. Pop it up. Getting
Jerry
the
folds.
hands.
Daniel Devoris with the king 10. Looks down and folds. Bad position. Now on Gagliano with the king queen. Offsuit. In the hijack. It's a good hand. It's fine hands. But it's not a great hand multi-way.
Bring it off in the hijack.
So I think the standard, if it wasn't Chino Ream, would be to fold here probably.
It is. Again, everyone just
But
getting their
if you're going to
fine
play
run
a
against
3-bet
Chino.
is a good option. And we are going to see that here from Gagliano. Folds.
Gang's doing nothing wrong, of course.
What'd you start with?
Back on
is
Chino
so wide.
with the ace king.
This will just be a 4-bet, of course. Interesting
Now
to
it's
see.
a weird
Size
stack
worse
because
than
like, do you want to shove all in here for 65 blinds, or do you want to 4-bet less than all in, or do you want to call? You know what I mean? Like, they're all
Anyone
options.
can.
Looks like the
Chino.
4-bet's going in. 1.2 million.
That's what he's done. Makes it 1.2. Well, this is
So 3 million back for Chino, and then Gagliano.
all in 4-bet against Gags is
I'm assuming he's gonna fold. You never know, but I'm assuming would fold here.
Gags going to start on the hand with 2.9. Trying to feign that he may have bluffs here, but
I said the weird yesterday. I played 2 tables. One table at 6-6, gone all in, got 2 calls. I river quads. Second table, same hand. For some reason, I thought I would river quads again, so went all in. River quads as well. That is sick, dude. I've never had a coincidence like that.
You know,
Double quads.
you're squatting.
It's a lot. It's intense. Gina takes it down. King, queen, good folds. I mean, not a lot you could do there. There's just not enough room. There's not enough room to do anything else. To call or to 5-bet or to shove even. It's just like you're going to get called every time. So you just out of the way with the king, queen. It's an interesting table, though. It really is a good one to sweat. Another big hand for Gagliano. Ace 10 of diamonds. Definitely worthy of playing. It's going to raise it up to 125,000. Roberto will fold.
Gags now opening up. This time ace 10 of diamonds. Far more playable hand.
Tony now in the small blind. We saw him play a random hand one of these times. The king deuce suited in the small blind in a spot like this, but gives it up this time. Chino in the big blind with the 10-7 is in. We have a rematch. This time we can see Gagliano has a big advantage. I guess similar to last time too. Ace, king, king, queen. Ace 10, 10-7. Same sort of deal.
Jack 8-4.
Jack 8-4. Both players have missed. Chino Reem has a gut shot. A 9 will make him a straight. Gagliano has the ace high and the backdoor no flush draw. So both players have little bits of something. I would not be surprised to see a Chino Reem check raise here.
King, queen, 9-7. Will improve him. Chino,
But no, it's a fold.
not going to play to that bet size.
How many left in this tourney? We don't know at this point. This is day 2 of the coverage. The payouts we also don't know yet. That will be announced soon, I'm assuming. So this tournament happened in real time in November. This is the Caribbean Poker Party 2019, 10K buy-in. It was originally broadcast on Poker Go, but now Party Poker has released it on their YouTube channel, so we're doing commentary after the fact here. But I haven't seen the tournament. I mean, I remember reporting some headlines as to who won and stuff, but I don't even particularly like have it stand out as to who was there. So it's kind of my first time at seeing these hands. So that's what we're doing, man. Welcome. Pajaza. Thank you, thank you. Are you hitting the felt later? Yes. So if you guys are a fan of me actually playing, I'll be doing that later tonight. Probably do about another, I don't know, maybe 2 hours of live poker commentary, and then we'll hit a bit of online grind later. Something like that. So yeah, need a couple hours here. Looking forward to it. I can actually see what's going on. KO series. Daily specials and the satellites.
Michael's raise getting through.
Let's put the buy-ins at 25 plus, just as a filter tonight. See?
Yeah, I didn't feel it. Felt it the hand before though.
Yeah, there's a bunch going on actually.
How am I really felt it?
The big game phase 2 I'd like to play.
1.2, you know we feeling it. We ain't never folded.
That'd be nice. Try and get through there with something decent.
Nice hand.
PLO Bounty Hunter. I wouldn't even be against playing some Omaha tonight. That'd be fun.
I got head.
Are you going to buy into an 11 or 530s? I don't know. Probably more like 215 and 320s tonight. That's just my vibe I'm feeling right now. What's up, Pocket DeRusso? Hello, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Action on Tony, who seems to be a bit under the weather. I feel like that's what the napkin's about, you know? I feel like he's just not well, and he's coughing into the napkin to try and not infect the table. That's my guess. Chino's going to raise it up to 125,000. Danny DeVoris, who really hasn't got much going, like doubled up early, but then hasn't picked up anything since. Looks down at a pair of threes. In the big blind against Chino's open, this is going to be a shove. Be very surprised if it wasn't. There it is. It's the all-in jam. Now action back on Chino's got to call 375, about 420, 420,000 to call off here.
Folded without even getting a count. I'm surprised there.
But folds. Not interested. Okay.
From Vegas.
Not
Here
interested.
to Vegas is like,
Hey, I'm new to the poker scene. What's up, VF Versol? Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Welcome, welcome. We're watching a little bit of live poker here before we play some ourselves.
You gotta stop somewhere.
But thanks for hanging out, man.
JFK, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, LaGuardia.
Cheers, Gridlock. Cheers, man.
No, I'm saying one of the airports on the East Coast you gotta stop at. Yeah. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta. Somewhere on the East Coast.
Miami, Atlanta. Delta probably flies to Atlanta, right?
Say what?
Delta probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the Delta flights stuff now.
Atlanta's the biggest airport, bro.
Roberto will fold under the gun.
Hartsfield.
Arthur under the gun +1 with the tens.
Here we go. Finally get himself in the game. 8 bigs, pocket 10s. Be ripping it in.
JetBlue?
Nah, United. JetBlue might have some more.
Probably going to go for the shove, and there it is. There's only 8 big blinds, just not a lot of chips left, right? First rookie question from VF Versol. How do you play poker the best way? That is Whoa, we have aces. It's a big question, VFV. Poker is a game that I've been playing for 10 years, and I still don't know how to play it the best in so many spots.
Completely off Arthur. He's running into aces behind.
Jerry calls.
Jerry just cooling, of course, just hoping.
Can he induce some more action here? Gagliano with the queen 7, not going to make it. So Arthur's going to get the bad news. Hasn't had a good tournament. I mean, nothing you do here. See, this is a spot with the 10s. VF Versal. You just lose here. The best way to play was the 10s and you lose. You know? So there's all these different situations in poker. There isn't like these overarching rules that can help you very much. King 5-3. No help for the 10s. It's not like, you know, Jack 10 suited is always a hand you have to worry about. It doesn't work like that, you know? Because in a poker situation, you're making a decision based on your hand, which is the most obvious part of information. But you're also making a decision based on how many chips you have and how many chips the people you're playing against have. And that's important because if they have a lot of chips, you need to take different decisions than if they have relatively few chips. You're also making decisions based on your position at the table. So sometimes you get to see how other players act before you play, and that's a big advantage. That means being in position. Whereas when you're out of position, it changes your strategy. So let's say you're at a table here, and you're dealt a hand like Jack 9 of spades, okay? So Jack 9 of spades, when you've got the whole table behind you, is not a very good hand. You have 7 people that could wake up with really big hands. But let's take another example where it folds all the way around, and there's only one person left in the hand. Well, Jack 9 of spades is really good in that spot, you know, because it's only against one person, so it's likely to be quite a good hand. So all of those things factor into how to play good poker. And it's like endlessly complex. But to get started, all you have to understand is the rules. And then you start to pick these things up and consider them and think about these different factors and how they should be applied and how much they should influence your decisions. So, yeah. I'm really jealous that you're at the start of your poker life, because once you get into it, it's just like such a thrilling and exciting experience to figure out all these things and to get better and slowly improve as you first encounter them. It's pretty cool, man. So enjoy. $2, what's up, man? Thank you very much. And a love from New Jersey. Cheers, man. I'm really liking the live poker commentary. It's good, man. I'm having fun doing it. Set! Tony Maloney. Tony Filoni. With the set of 7s. Now, Jerry has a flush draw with the Jack 9 of diamonds, and Roberto has completely missed. But can our man Tony Filoni get some chips here? Please. What's up, Mavio? What's up, man? Hello, hello. Thank you, Mercury. Heron Ayer, thanks for the follow. Jerry's going to go for the little bet here. This is music to Tony Filoni's ears. Look at this, man. You're getting bet into. You got a set. It's $500,000 in the middle. You're in a $10,000 buy-in tournament. Yeah, I might be feeling under the weather, but I got a set. Oh, Tony Maloney with the slow play. Tony Filoni. We're going to have to call him Tricky Tony in a second here, man. Just the check call. $600,000 here on the turn. Jerry still has Jack high and a flush draw. If you remember, if you've been watching the stream for a couple hours now, you may remember Tony Filoni playing like this with ace queen. Check, long think, and just a call. And now to the turn. So he's balanced. He's told a different story earlier at this table.
Instead, he's going the other way.
That is a shove from Jerry. Tony Filoni has the second nuts. Yep, there it is. Quick table. Boom! Jerry's got 7 outs. 16% for Jerry, or our man Tony Filoni's going to double up. Come on, Tony. Please, man. Let's get the 3 of diamonds out there for the sweat. The deuce of diamonds for the sweat.
Tony's sweating this one hard. Only the 7 ounce to avoid.
Jack of Hearts is
Very close,
clean.
not what Tony was asking for, but
Tony
that's what
Filoni, you legend, man. 2.1 million. Unfortunate hand for Jerry. What a sweat, Tony. Yep, he felt it. He felt it. You love to see it, dude. Come on. Tony! I love the guy. He's great. VF Versol says, you're right. I need to know the basics first and playing sandbox to get the experience. I feel you, man. If I could go back now to the start of my poker career, like the very beginning, I would choose to play
now has over
like
2
very
stacks.
small tournaments, like $1
Start
tournaments,
today.
$2 tournaments. Because that way, like, even if you lose all your tournaments and you play all months, it might be like $50, you know, like the cost of a video game, right? It's just not a huge expense. But you get some of those really exciting moments where even if you suck and you're brand new and you're learning, you're going to get lucky enough sometimes to actually make a run at it, you know? And you're like, oh, damn, like, I have a chance. I could actually do well here. I think there is something different about playing for real money, even if it's a little bits, that is really fun to learn with. But, I mean, you do you, of course. Like, whatever is reasonable for you and you can afford and you feel comfortable with. But I think I definitely remember playing those $1, $2, $3 tournaments and just having a blast as I was learning to get better at the game, you know? Yes, Resatas. Yeah, this happened in November.
Going
So
through.
we are getting another perspective on it. This is my first viewing of the tournament. I didn't get to see it at the time, but I'll give you my commentary perspective on the hands.
Strategy adjustment on a tough table. Start opening a little larger when you open. You're going to open less hands.
Come on,
So
Tony
when you range when you
Filoni.
open. You can raise
The only
your
thing with low binds is a lot of people go all in with nothing, like they don't care, and then it's a game of luck. It isn't. The first part is true. A lot of people do go all in with nothing, like they don't care, because they don't. More like they're impatient. Not they don't care, they just are. They don't want to be patient. But that does not become a game of luck, because poker, especially at the highest stakes, but you'll see it at the smallest stakes as well, you're going to get it in, all in, for a lot of 60-40s. And if you play poker for a long time, I can guarantee you that you're going to be at risk for $1,000 with 60% and 40%, right? Which means in the long run, you're going to get $600 of that pot, and your opponent's going to get $400 of that pot. But you're going to lose a 60-40 for $1,000, and it's going to hurt.
Daniel can't really get a lot going.
You're going to be crying inside. But that is not a game of luck. That is where the skill lies, is the fearlessness to take on a 55-45 and play aggressively, and when you get caught,
in the big blind.
have to like flip for a bunch of money. Like those are the skill edges. So poker is not about avoiding bad beats. That's not the goal. Your goal is not to minimize your pain. Your goal is to make money. And yes, your opponents are going to be splashing around and throwing some terrible hands in the pot, and you're going to take some awful beats at the small stakes, and that's how you know you're crushing your opponents. That's how you know. So you got to get over that. Mentally, you need to avoid feeling any pain or caring about the mistakes your opponents are making. Just like that's the edge. That's how you win the game. They're impatient. You're not. They can't handle the bad beats. You can. That's how you win. No problem. Inferior. No problem, man. Daniel's going to fold the 10-7 there. Michael Gagliano folds in the hijack as well. Roberto with the queen 6. Not a very deep stack for Roberto Romanello. He's going to need to pick up something soon, with the big blind being 50,000.
Michael, suit king on the button. Certainly worthy of playing. He's 30 bigs. Puts in the raise. Tony finally with some chips to play with. Finds Jack 10 off in the small.
Cameraman just doing a little check. Whoa! What's up, cameraman? Quick moving. Oh, no. He hit his head. You guys missed it. It's fine. It was behind the camera. It's all right.
what?
Min raise, yeah?
Yes.
Friendly.
Is the minimum. Chino
Pulls around to the
takes.
big blind.
Friendly and inviting.
Chino with the ace 8.
I'm okay with
It's
that.
an okay hand. You know, it's whatever. In the big blind, you're going to call for cheap, but it doesn't play very well after the flop. We could see he was ahead. No longer. Michael has flopped a pair of threes and a backdoor flush draw. Chino has 2 overcards, 3 to a straight, so little bits of something, but it's not. You're not happy. You're not like, oh, great flop. You're like, okay. Now what? Check on the flop. 8 on the turn. Chino has taken the lead now with top pair, top kicker. What's up, Dino Deans? How you doing, man?
Card on the turn.
Love this format, boss. Cheers, dude.
Fires out
I've
130.
seen the success of this format and that people really like watching it.
Not a pair,
So I
but
think we're going to
bottom
do it
pair.
a lot. In fact, probably
All the draws
3
out there. Chino
out
can
of
have
4 days a week. We'll start with live poker and then go to online poker. Sunday, I think I'll just do online, but it's working. I really enjoy it.
almost like
So why not? Let's do it, man.
fold a lot of
Let's
rivers.
do a couple hours of live poker before we play online. I'm in.
Not
Rivers
a
of deuce of
lot
hearts.
stop betting on.
Chino has the best hands. Can Michael get away with the pair of threes? Bet call on the turn. Michael's in position, so action is on Chino. I think the cameraman's the wrong person. I'm pretty sure action is on Chino here. Oh no, he bets 130,000. Okay. So now on Michael.
Very tempting for Michael.
It's very cheap. It's like so cheap, man.
Chino can bet so many hands this size for value.
260,
Just have to give this one up.
130, 260, 390, 490,
But it's Chino.
520 is 4 to 1. Yeah, about 5 to 1.
Sometimes you just need to see the cards against.
Michael calls. And Chino's going to scoop the pot. I think the overall just chatting format and not actually playing is great for interaction and more chilled. You're in Edinburgh at the moment, mate. I am, yeah. I'm in Edinburgh. I agree with you, dude. That's why I really like the idea of doing this quite often. Because it allows an opportunity for us to be no delay, which is great for like actually getting to chat, you know, and keep up with what's going on with the viewers' lives and all that. Answer questions. And then also the second part is like there's just 10 times more live poker fans than online poker fans. So get some of those live guys to enjoy the stream and then check out the online after is my hope. Anyways. What's up, Davey Boy Clark? Doing well in the micros, but on a $25 downswing, so demoralizing. Hang in there, Davey. Hang in there, bro.
Chino in the small.
Keep firing. $25 downswing. I mean, it's relative though, Shadow. Compact, you know.
Big blind.
I remember going on a 1K downswing, and it was just like pain.
To raise, call this one off.
And
Should he need
since then, I've been on like 50K downswings, and it's like pain. You know? And then these guys, some of these guys go on 500K downswings, and it's pain. I don't know if anyone at the table has gone on a 5 million. Probably, actually. We had a guy playing Triton, so if he's playing 100Ks and 250Ks and stuff, he's probably been on a 5 million downer. Not Chino,
Oh, mine was
but
queen deuce, so I don't know.
I don't know. Phil Galfond downswing, yeah. So last I checked, he was down 400K, but I don't know what he's down at the moment. I hope it goes well for him. He's down 420K
That's a good answer.
on the day
Queen deuce deuce.
through 4,400 hands. Hopefully it swings the right direction for him. What was Gus Hansen's biggest downswing? I don't know, actually. I wonder. I don't know what his biggest downswing was. Don't look at Matt Staples then, 20K down. Matty Ice on a little bit of a downswing, but I mean, given the stakes he's playing, completely normal as well. He's playing all the big stuff. You know, he's firing the occasional 530s, 215s, and all that.
Okay.
So,
Well,
gonna happen, you know?
Jerry in the small. Jack 10 of clubs.
Jerry with the Jack 10 of clubs. It's a beautiful hand. You love to see it. It's just a lot of fun. Jack 10 of clubs.
Then your short stack in the big. Hence the all-in wager.
these are still hour-long levels, right? Oh, okay. Never mind. Cause it said 56 minutes, literally like 1 second ago. They just changed it.
No, yeah, I think the clock jumped or something.
They made some announcement.
It was just
I
at
think they
56
said blinds
minutes.
up, didn't they? And
No, they said blinds not up because the clock jumped. And had
Yeah, something
In the big picture, Matty Ice is technically on a 160K upswing. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's it, man. Just a little zoom out on that would be helpful. I remember Gus saying he's lost over $1 million in a day, so who knows? Yeah. Oh, I'd love to talk with Gus Hansen. Larry Sahami's lost over $1 million playing drunk one night. Yikes. I'd love to talk to these guys on the podcast, the weekly poker showdown. But you know, they're busy guys or private guys. You know, they don't want to do podcasts. What do they get out of a podcast? They want to play poker.
Jerry on the button.
So I get
No.
that. But maybe we could get some of those guys on. Pulls around to Jerry on the button with the 1.5 million. It's going to raise it up to 125. Daniel Dvoris in the small blind with King Queen. I suspect an all-in situation here. Has 15 big blinds to start the hand. There it is. All the chips in the middle. Daniel Divorce is all in. I don't think Jerry is going to call, though. It's probably a little bit too many chips to make it worth it. But Jerry could have considered raising smaller because of that stack.
Weak to be cooling.
We'll see in a second if he calls. How many times have you played Drunk, Jamie? From Mucky. Really not very many, dude. I don't drink that often. Like maybe 5, something like that. I remember a stream on my birthday where I had some drinks. I played then. I played on New Year's night once. I played at local casinos a few times when it was like a very social game, you know? When like my friends were there and they were drinking and I joined in on the drinking just because it was like it stopped being like a job and it was kind of like a social situation at that point, you know? So it was like, okay, so we're just gambling now tonight. We're not really... And I view it differently, you know? Like when I'm playing cards, I don't really feel like I'm gambling. I feel like I'm just trying to find edges and win. Whereas if I'm like drinking and hanging out with friends and letting my emotions just run free, then I'm gambling. So I remember doing that at 1-2 cash game a few times and stuff.
Michael.
But yeah, I think maybe 5 lifetime, dude. I've been playing for 10 years. I'm competitive. I want to win, you know? It's not really a fun thing for me to like not be playing my best. I want to crush. And if I get it in on a gamble and win, I didn't really have that much fun. I want to get it in and make good plays, you know what I mean?
4, couple of hearts. Top pair, Michael with, of course, gut shot 1 over.
All right, so Roberto Romanello has outflopped Michael's ace-jack, which is great news for Roberto. And is very short in this hand, too. 425K, so I'm curious how Michael plays this. As we can see, there's 275,000 in the pot. So do you go for a small bet? It is. It's a bet of 50K, so it's the minimum bet. Or do you check and take free cards?
Does bet 50. Very small bet, 1 blind. Roberto just going to jam it in now.
Check jam, call.
Michael has to
Okay,
call.
Michael does call with the ace-jack
Bad news that he only has those
against
7
Roberto.
outs.
Michael assuming that Roberto has enough king-jack, same hand ace-jack,
7 outs, still leaves
jack-9,
30%
jack-8, 9-8, heart draw type hands to have to bet call ace-jack. And we can see here, has 30% even against a hand like queen-jack, so that's kind of the thinking. Oh,
Well, there's one of them. King on the turn. Roberto drawing just an ace for the chop.
Roberto's dead, man. That's a sick. That's a sick turn.
Was unlucky for
GG to
there.
Roberto Romanello. Thankfully, still a